get the job done faster. If you're always on the hunt for the latest and greatest tools and great prices, follow Autobahn Dan. Dan, we're grateful that you're able to open a beer tonight with your bottle opener.
Yeah.
Hello.
A 2-star rating.
How goes it?
It works.
Good to see you.
All right. Well, as long as it gets the beer open, it should be good. All right. Up next, we have the Hot Rod Hippie, Alan Mandick.
Hello.
Hey, Alan. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
So Alan has a wealth of knowledge in the automotive industry, and with his YouTube channel and Instagram account, he provides his audience with how-to videos for fabrication, automotive technology, body repair, and unbiased and fair reviews of tools. And Alan is joining us from the city of brotherly love in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes, indeed.
So great to have you with us. Yeah. We're excited to be with you tonight. So thank you so much
for joining us. Stay with me for a little while.
Up next, we have Caterpillar Wrenching with Quentin. Get Quentin queued up here.
No, stay with me for a little
while. We're gonna come back, Quentin. Just 1 second, okay? We got, in addition to Caterpillar Wrenching, we've also got Hawk Designs and Kenny Hawk.
What's happening?
Hey, Kenny, how are you, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you, man. So you probably recognize Kenny Hawk from the popular Hawk Machine show from Amazon Prime, or from his breathtaking high-performance supercar builds with unparalleled off-road capabilities. Or perhaps you may recognize him better with his fro from the episode of Joy of Painting as Rob Boss. If you haven't seen that episode, go to our IGTV channel after this and check that out. It's worth your time. It's a good watch. Kenny, thank you so much for joining us from Chambersburg. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.
What have you got there behind you right now, Kenny?
So this is beer koozie. This is what I keep beer in when I'm not in the shop here. So let me show you this. So we're gonna see real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna grab a glass.
Oh, so this is. And we build with GearWrench Tools, right?
Everything you see here, right? So this is how we do this. I don't know if I can show you this.
Oh wow!
I'm try to. How can I pour this? Can I pour it?
Oh, that's well done.
Foamy. It's a little foamy, but
a little bit of foam. Well, Kenny, thank you so much for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So up next, we've got Rad Industries with Rad Dan Burkett, Renee Burkett from Orange County. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. It's good to see you. Rad Dan Burkett is the driver of the Pro Formula Drift number 34 Mark IV Supra and owner and creator of Rad Industries race shop there in Orange County. In addition, Mrs. Rad, Renee Burkett, is also joining us. Renee is the design guru for the livery, team apparel, merchandise, and more for Rad Industries, and applies all the GearWrench Rad Industries racing paint schemes to both Mark IVs, Big Blue and Baby Blue. And if that wasn't enough, she also serves as the spotter for all the FD events.
Thank you guys so much, CJ.
Yeah, it's so great to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Do we have Quentin with us? Okay. Let me know if you hear any different. Okay. Next, we have from Ohio, Eric the Car Guy.
How you doing?
Eric, how are you, man?
I'm well, and how are yourself?
Not too bad. It's good to see you, man. Eric is someone I'm sure many of you know from his YouTube channel, ETCG1, or Eric the Car Guy, where he covers things related to working as an automotive technician in the business of auto repair. Eric is constantly looking at ways to help people save time, money, and showing them how to fix stuff, build stuff, and more. Thank you so much, Eric. So what have you got back there behind you in the garage?
A Fairmont for one, and then there's a Factory 5 Cobra replica behind that I'm going to be start working on here soon.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us from the garage, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So next we have from Hoonigan, Danger Dan, or Dan Summer. Hey, Dan, how are you, man?
Good. How are you guys doing? Just chilling.
Good. I'm so glad you could join us. Are you in the donut garage tonight?
Yeah, with every car ever. It's just kind of become a parking lot or an entire garage. It used to be an office, but now it's just a garage.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. Dan is a seasoned mechanic and fabricator, and most recently worked on the Donk Series build, which you can check on the Hoonigan channel on YouTube, which was sponsored by GearWrench. So grateful you could join us tonight. And it's so cool that you're from the Donut Garage, man. That's cool. It's a cool place.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right, up next we have Pistons and Pixie Dust, the one and only Faye Hadley.
Hey guys.
Hey Faye, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. I'm a freaking mess, but I'm trying to like get my act together.
Well, it looks like you're doing a good job right now. I think so.
Trying. Yeah.
So Faye is a Toyota specialist and shop owner in San Antonio. Faye puts out a new DIY video every week on our channel. And in addition to her love of her Mark III Supra, do you sense a theme here? There's a lot of Supras. And her love for chickens. She is also the co-host of the All Girls Garage on Motor Trend TV. So glad you could join us tonight, Faye. Thank you.
I'm really glad that you mentioned my love of chicken. That's really important to me. So until you do research.
Yeah, well, I can tell that it's important to you. In fact, now whenever I was at IKEA this weekend and I saw plates with chicken on it, and I thought, I should probably tell Faye about these plates with chickens on them. So
Christmas is coming up. I will take one. I'll take two.
All right, up next we have Kruger Construction with Murray Kruger. There he is. How are you, man?
Good, and you?
Good. How was the weather up there in the Great White North?
I've got about 2 feet of snow. Just dreaming about getting that thing out again, but
oh yeah. So I was going to chat a little bit about that. So like I said, Murray's calling from the Great White North. He is a contractor, family man, and car enthusiast. And Murray is joining us from Saskatchewan, Canada. And when Murray isn't out there killing it for Kruger Construction, you can find him at home working on his Nissan Skyline GTR that you just saw there. You might also recognize him from his GearWrench work truck build, which is a pretty cool build. If you go to his Instagram account, you can see that story pinned to the top. It's a pretty cool build. So thanks for joining us, Murray.
thanks for having me.
Did anybody else? Okay, and then did you see Quentin?
Yep.
Okay, we're waiting for Quentin to join, but we're going to keep moving on. So right now, last but not least, we have the humble mechanic, Charles. There he is.
There he is.
Hi.
Hey, man, good to see you. So Charles is a trusted source for all things car repair based out of North Carolina. He's a master certified Volkswagen technician who has been fixing broken VWs and mentoring younger technicians and apprentices for over 10 years now. In fact, you may remember prior to COVID, Charles making a trip up to our nonprofit partner, Second Chances Garage. He donated his Passat, and then he worked all week with the technicians and apprentices there to get the Passat back working order, and then delivered it later that week to somebody who was in need. And then that person actually ended up helping the local community. So Charles, great to have you, man.
Hi, everybody.
And what have you got behind you there, Charles?
So this is my Golf R. It's cool. It's bright yellow, which is why it's parked there, because it looks cool as a background. The car that I'm actually like legit working on though is that busted R32. Well, it's not busted. It's just all taken apart because it's getting a big turbo and a lot of horsepower and some other cool stuff. So yeah, it's
Charles,
a busy place.
I'm told that that yellow car behind you, that specific shade of yellow, is the fastest that's available from Volkswagen.
Yeah, this out of the 40 special order colors, this yellow, Ginster yellow, is definitely the fastest.
Oh, okay. Glad to hear that. It's great to have you, man. Thank you so much. It sounds like we have Quentin joining us. Okay. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get started. I do want to thank you guys all for joining. Thank you so much for being here. We got a couple of things we want to dive into. You guys all should have received a box, and in that box, you'll see a toolbox with on it. And then prior to receiving this box, you would have received a package in the mail with a key. And so we're getting very close to that time where you're going to be able to use that key to open this box. Just hold tight for a second. But when the box that this particular box came in, they had some wrench racks in it. You probably see those here. You can just set those to the side. We're going to talk about those in a minute. Before we do, I'm going to take a drink because I'm a little thirsty.
Touche.
Cheers. Cheers. Next, I want to talk about, can you hold that up for us, Jared? So this should be in your box too. This is GearWrench NASCAR, which is the same car that Kurt Busch drives. It's a pretty cool thing, but you know what would be a whole lot cooler than this car is if Kurt Busch could join us right now.
Oh, I sure would.
Is there a way Kurt, can you join us, man? We'd love for you to join us.
Oh, no way.
Kurt, are you there, man? We'd love for you to be here with us.
That's gonna be awesome.
All right, this seems like a good time to take another sip.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, Kurt, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Let me.
All right, we got your audio. We got your video. Can you test real quick your audio? Let's make sure we got your audio.
I think we got everything now. Audio.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great, man. Hey, Kurt, where are you calling from, man?
I'm calling from my GearWrench Garage Party. This is my personal race shop. Bunch of my are back behind me. Some of my old race cars. So I'm joining in.
That's awesome, man. We're so grateful you could be with us tonight. Do you mind if I ask you a couple quick questions?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, so I'm interested to feel what, tell us your thoughts on the 2020 season. What did you like? What did you hate?
Wow. What a battle. What a season. But I'm very grateful that NASCAR did everything they could to get us back to track as soon as we could. So with everything coming down in March and April, all the unknowns of the whole pandemic, I was really proud of NASCAR and the collaboration, teams, the tracks, the state, the local governments, to get us back to racing and to be on TV and to create that entertainment and to create that value to help people get through. But overall, man, what a battle with no practice session. Races. One of the trophies that I was just looking at, it just kind of just had like this gleam in my eye of that hole at the Sharp. It was no practice, straight into qualifying, and it had to do everything through data. Had to look at all the lines, all the information was through our system. It wasn't me, the feel and practice. And they said, yeah, it's going to be simple. Just hold it wide open. I'm like, really? Here we go. This year, an incredible challenge. So proud of the team everywhere to jump in, be competitive, and battle it out. Some weeks pit strategy helped us. Some weeks it hurt us. Pit crew, but all around to win at Las Vegas, my hometown track. That was a dream.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Top 10 overall at the season end. That's a thumbs up. I might give it 2 thumbs up, but I'll give it a thumbs up.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, what are you excited about for 2021?
So next year, same car, same people, same systems. I think we'll learn from NASCAR about maybe just practice, but overall, it's what we're doing right now. We're communicating through the Skypes and the Zooms and Microsoft Teams. We have Cargility and Yorktel, who are a partner with us now with communications through medicine and video, and everything now is like what we're doing, and it's adapting and continuing to evolve and staying ahead by all the non-communicative. Zoom call doesn't connect, or when things pop up, you just got to be able to adapt, and that's what 21 is going to be about.
Well, that's great, man. I'm glad you got such a positive outlook on it. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts on GearWrench? How do you like the partnership between Chip Ganassi Racing and GearWrench, and how have you seen it put to work with your team?
It's fabulous. It feels like family. I do miss the interaction at track, especially having the suites and the hospitality areas and being able to bring customers to the track and giving them that experience in person. I miss, I mean, that's the thing I miss with our race now is race fans and the interaction for the race. So with family and the feel and everything with GearWrench, I'm proud to carry the molten orange colors out on the track to be part of the family, to be part of the. It's all that teamwork and collaboration, and ultimately it's about selling product. I love different sponsors that we have at Chip Ganassi Racing, and with GearWrench being there before I got there, I was hopeful to be absorbed and to be adopted into your families. Thank you for making me part of it.
Oh, we're glad to have you. And we were so grateful for you being a good sport earlier this year when we captured all that great footage of you and Mac McCall doing the Talladega night lines, and you guys knocked it out of the park. It was
a lot of fun.
Shake and
Well, Kurt, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. Thank you so much for your time. We wish you the best in 2021, and for you to be able to build an even larger shelf in your shop to be able to put a lot more trophies up there with a little help from GearWrench.
Absolutely. No, thank you guys. And whatever normalcy we all find next 2020, it's still about connecting and being together. And I'm glad to be on the call with you guys. But of course, happy to carry the colors out on the track, with the Monster Energy car out there and you guys together with them. It's endless as far as possibilities on what we can do to sell product on their side, to sell product to you guys. Hey, I'm a gearhead. I'm a wrencher. I love to be out there with my dad, especially just working on our old cars together. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys into my shop today to give you a little taste. So thank you again.
Yeah, we appreciate it. You take care, Kurt, and stay safe. All right.
All right, guys. Be well.
All right.
Thanks much.
Congrats, Kurt.
All right. So without love for you guys to grab your key and unlock your toolbox. It is time to do it.
It's the moment they've been waiting for.
Yeah. You can officially tear up this piece of paper if you like, because it's time to open them. Let's take a look. So we got this toolbox. This is a toolbox, but for this purpose, it's served its purpose well by getting these tools to you guys in a good fashion. So I'd encourage you guys all take that first tray out, and I'm going to hand that tray over to Jarrett with the pliers, and you guys can take a look at that tray with the pliers in it. And Jarrett's going to give you some information about these pliers.
So guys, this is a brand new product launch. You guys will be the first ones to see this. This is a brand new launch of the GearWrench Pitbull pliers. This line of pliers, we really challenged ourselves here at GearWrench. We wanted to take the plier from the ground up and say, what could we do better? What could we do to make the best product for you and mine? And we really broke this up into two different categories. The first category we're going to look at is our solid joint pliers, or our cutting pliers. And when I say these pliers are tough as nails, I'm not kidding. And I like to show it off to you guys. We'll have our Linesman plier here. We're going to stick a nail in it. This is a 10D penny nail. And as you'll be able to see.
Okay, Jarrett, I think maybe we should wear safety glasses if you're going to do that again.
Right. You take this plier and take it against our competition out there, and you'll see ours is tough as nails, cutting through those nails time and time.
That's
again.
a lot of nails, Jarrett.
It is. We had to cut that same 10D penny nail linesman with our diagonal plier, and then even with our long nose plier. Each one of these, we took a specific design element and said, how can we plus it? And I'm going to focus real quick on the long nose plier and have you guys look at it and flip that plier over to the back side of it and look at it. And this is not just your standard long nose plier. We've added various elements from the bolt grip area for turning to a high torque, bending wire, to a non-marring zone for non-marring fasteners, and then a high area of gripping force with these hash mark jaws. We've really taken it to the next level with these.
Yeah, Jarrett, I was looking at these pliers and I noticed on the back end here, we've got this marking like an image. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's great. So this is a new innovation from GearWrench, and it's our tooltip marking. We know many times you guys have these in a tool bag, and instead of having to pull every single plier out to find out, let's find that linesman plier, you can simply look at that tooltip marking and recognize it as a linesman, a long nose, a tongue and groove. etc.
Yeah.
So brand new innovation there from GearWrench.
And then you've also got these holes in the end of the pliers. So tell
It's
me
a
about
whole
what
new
those
safety
are.
element to the pliers. So that these pliers are all tether ready, meaning they passed all of our safety regulations and stringent testing to be tethered ready to be used on the job at height, providing you with safe work on the ground or at height. The second group of pliers I want to talk about quickly is our tongue and groove pliers. We've really revolutionized the tongue and groove, and it all has to do with the dimension on this plier. We've really wanted to thin down the profile of this plier's head to give you the best access possible. We've slimmed that jaw down all the way from the tip of the jaw, all the way through the neck of the plier, down to the handle grip, giving you 40% greater access versus our previous generation of pliers.
That's cool because, you know, the mantra for GearWrench has always been speed, strength, and access. And man, you are not kidding. Those pliers are thin. I'm curious, like, Kenny, you got a hold of those tongue and groove pliers there. What's your, you know, initial thought and feedback on those tongue and groove pliers?
You know, what you see right away is that there's a lot of details, right? So you're noticing that a lot of thought went into the grips. First of all, I'm still like, there's just so many things, all the special markings, the holes, the way the grips are designed. Every single piece I think is really well thought out. And that's what I love about GearWrench Tools. It's like, you could tell a lot of effort was put into it. You could just cookie cutter these and you could just release it. It'd be no big deal, but you guys actually listen to all the feedback from the mechanics and you create something that's really special. And that's what GearWrench is known for. And that's why we love them.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Brian Eslick, tell us a little bit about your first thoughts on these pliers.
First of all, I noticed that the grip, when you squeeze them, they don't pinch your fingers. So when you fully close them, some pliers, when you squeeze them all the way, they'll pinch your fingers and give you a blood blister. These do not. So that's pretty awesome. I like that. I was noticing these little knurls here on the handle, and I think we could pop a bottle opener right here, you know.
Did you see that, Alban Dan?
I tried it already.
Yeah, there's that area that you're talking about. That's our grip zone area on there for that non-marring grip, so you can use that under the hood all the time.
That's great. There's something.
Oh, you know what? Have you seen my 10 millimeter socket though?
Your 10 mil? No.
Yeah. Have you seen it? You had it earlier.
Magnetic 10 mil.
We had them.
Jared, you were responsible for the 10 mils.
Just set it down.
Oh wait, here, there they are. They're right here. Oh, there's the 10 mils. I got
lost one.
Hey. So this is our 10 mil. It's the everything for everybody 10 mil socket set.
These are all 10 millimeter sockets. That's amazing.
Yes. So this is actually for those of you who are watching. You're like, I got to have that. Take my money. It is 80319. You can find it on our website. You can find it from local and online sellers. But yeah, we've got your regular. We've got 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch drive here, from standard to mid to deep, flex, magnetic.
This little magnetic one is where it's at, dude. This one, right here.
That's very right.
I'm glad you like it, Faye. Tell us what you're thinking about using this for.
No, just because like there's so many times when you've got your hands in like this really crappy position and like you're trying to get to like a bunch of little teeny tiny little bolts. And I'm thinking like, I heard you mention earlier Toyota Sienna. So if you're doing like, you know, maybe a spark plug for like valve cover gasket and you're like, you know, you got the rear bank and you're trying to get in there and there's like all those little bolts, like, man, if you had this, like, I've been needing these, but I'm just like super cheap. So I haven't gotten them. But now I'm so glad that I have them. That just like makes your life so much easier.
I'm glad you like it. I'll tell you what, you know, when I was replacing the spark plugs on my Sienna recently, I think I left about 3/4 of the skin of my arm in the back.
You did it without taking the intake off.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's harder that way.
All right, so
you guys could all calm down and quiet down a little bit about these 10 mils. If anybody else hears this in this shop, these are going to be gone. I'm already looking where I can pack rat and hide these things, and nobody's in here right now, so it's good. I'm going to hide them probably in Scotto's car because he never drives it.
That's probably a good place for him. All right, so these 10 mils you're responsible for. Please do not lose them.
I'll try to keep them safe this time.
All right. Let's see. Up next, we have got Pint glass. If you guys don't have the pint glass out yet, you need to get this out
For sure.
and you need to fill it up. Now, drink of choice, we have been partaking of it. But, I mean, do you want to do double fisting or I don't know.
I don't know. It's too early still.
Go ahead and open it. If you've got something that you can pour in there, feel free to do that. Whether
Well,
it's
I think that
sorry, go ahead, Alan.
it's a little squishy.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend drinking that one.
Only one is water with our amazing koozie as well. So.
Oh, all right. Well, Alan, we'll have to get you another glass. Sorry about
Well,
that.
we're lucky that I'm a non-drinker, so that's all good.
Okay. How about you, Rad Dan? Are you filling it up with some Perrier lime?
Yeah, let me go to the soda stream and get some carbonated water. I'll be back.
Good for you, man. Good for you. All right. Well, let's move along. We've got another set here for you. Good Lord, this thing is heavy.
It is.
This is the bolt biter deep set. You guys go ahead and grab that out.
So you guys have all seen the original bolt biter. Well, we heard from you guys that you needed larger sizes to work on things such as lug nuts. And so that's what we've done here with this new 10-piece bolt biter impact set. Let's open it up together and check it out, guys. You'll be excited to see that we took all the things that you guys love about the first generation bolt biter and I brought it to the second generation here. We have it fit any size fastener from 19 millimeters to 25 millimeters or 3/4 of an inch up to an inch. The best part about it, we included the minus sizes. And as you guys know, those minus sizes sockets have been designed to take out that extremely worn, rounded, and rusted fastener. And just like the original bolt biter, these are patented tapered flute, so it's easy to seat onto that damaged fastener, and it's just as easily to remove it from that fastener. So we're really excited to get these to you guys.
Yeah.
And understand where you think you guys could use this in real life.
Yeah, so like the first person that comes to mind who I want to hear about this tool is in the middle of the country, Eric the car guy. What are your thoughts? You know, you're getting tons of rusty buckets coming through. Tell me what your thoughts are on this, Eric.
I have good thoughts about this. In fact, I saved these just for this occasion. I'm a bolt biter believer because I don't know if you see those, but these are spring bolt retainers for Honda exhaust, and there's not much of them left. I put a bolt biter on these; they came right off.
That's
Boom.
fantastic.
And you can see that there's nothing here, but yet I just put it on there. Boom. So I'm a total bolt biter convert, whatever you want to call me. Love these things.
How much time did that save you using that? What would you have done without the bolt biter?
Yeah, good question.
Well, it might have been drilling and tapping, or welding a nut on it and trying to spin out what was left. There's, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot there. And it wasn't even a size. I mean, you could see there's not even a size on the head of that bolt.
No.
And I literally just went on it with one of these bolt biter sockets, hit it with the impact. It came right out.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
So it does what it says it does.
Alan, I know that you're probably seeing a lot of this stuff up in your neck of the woods in Pennsylvania. You used to be up in Massachusetts. What are your thoughts on this set?
I'm just loving seeing the larger half-inch drive sizes because I liked the bolt biters. I really enjoyed the product. It worked well when I did test them out, but I never really covered them because the smaller stuff, I don't run into a need for that kind of situation that much. But suspension bolts, U-bolts, the nuts on them, leaf springs, things like that, that's going to come in key for me. When I'm doing restoration work, a lot of these classic cars and assembly, we end up cutting things that it's not that great to cut. You don't want to cut things off of a 65, but you end up doing it a lot of the time. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to these larger half-inch drive sizes.
Yeah, I think we're really hoping that these products and all the ones we're showing you, but those for sure are saving the technicians a lot of time so that they can move on to the next job and get some more things going.
It removes that headache for them.
Yeah. All right. So
wait. Before we move on,
yeah.
I want to point out two things about this that I'm super excited about. One, the fact that they're deep and it moves the drive away from where you're actually trying to zip a lug bolt, because there's no lug nuts allowed around here. Lug bolts off is excellent, but that's not what I'm most excited about. The ability to face all of the fonts, so you cannot have to rely on this little bit here to see what size you're getting, is probably my favorite thing in the world. My OCD thanks you. And yeah, you know, even if it lived closed, knowing that when you open it up and remove the little foam, boom, like it looks cool too. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
Minor,
thinking about
perhaps.
lug nuts though, Charles, because like that's I mean, obviously I'm in Texas. There's like no rust here, and like life is really good. But that being said, though, like I can see this saving a lot of time on the line. When I was a lube tech at Toyota, there was like a couple of like from 2008, 2012, there were these terrible freaking lug nuts that would always strip 21 millimeter. I can totally see using this and just like not having to like struggle trying to get them off and then like wait in the parts room and like try to convince the customer to like buy new lug nuts. Like just whip them off with these and just like don't even worry about it. So that's a good point.
I think I want to say it was Dan, but Rad Dan Burkett, but I might be mistaken. But I know I've heard people say that they've used the bolt biter when they had a car that came in with the wheel lock,
and they didn't have the lock for it.
Yeah, and they were able to take it off without having to have the lock.
You're not supposed to say that though. You're basically telling people how to steal wheels with these too.
Oh no.
You can like triple your money with these things then. Stealing people's wheels.
What were you saying, Dan?
It was me, and I've done it on 3 cars. We did it already this week on a car because it's like the customer might not have like their lock, and they're like, "Wait, there's a lock." Well, and then you're like, "It's coming off. We're not gonna fight with it, you know. Just take it off." But I love that these are like they were saying 1/2-inch drive, and they're deep sockets because that's gonna help on many situations. Because there's been a couple times over the last year I'm like, I wish they just made them bigger, and you guys did, so it's perfect.
We heard you.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of attentive customers, I saw Brian Eslick earlier this week. You had a customer who actually took the wheel lock and taped it to the passenger seat with some blue masking tape. Is that right, Brian?
He was prayer. Yeah, I was so thankful. Like I went the extra mile for that guy. It was awesome to see that. It was cool.
Yeah, it's cool when you have customers that think about you a little bit deeper than that. All right, well, moving on, we have the GearWrench gloves. You guys go ahead and grab those out.
Yeah, we're really excited to share these guys. We've really partnered with GearWrench, what we see as the best of the best out there. With mechanics wear. We partnered with them to come up with our exclusive GearWrench gloves to offer you the best professional glove with the ultimate and heavy duty protection. When we take a quick look at these and you put them on, you'll feel what I'm talking about here. You feel the comfort in the moment with your grip, your not bulky fingers. You feel that you can have a nice, tight, secure grip on whatever you're working with, and the glove's really not getting in the way. To make it even better is if you look at the surface of the glove, they're impact resistant. So you're working under the hood and you're worried about getting the bloody knuckles. These are really going to protect you from that. Especially when you slip off that wrench and you're really cranking on it, these are really what's going to give you that protection that you need.
Yeah, I've heard that these gloves are great chivalrous gloves.
Oh, geez, you got me that
so
time.
you know they do what they need to.
I'm really glad you guys included the cutters so we could get the gloves off. There was some thinking there.
Yeah, we're thinking ahead. The thing I love about these gloves is so often techs they're working on a vehicle and then they have to go maybe over to the computer or maybe they're using the phone, take a photo of something. But these have that touch screen capability, right?
That's right. So you can use it on your iPhone, your iPad, or whatever other smart device you have with a touch screen.
Yeah.
These will allow you to work with that technology without having to pop them on and off.
And let's not forget mechanics wear, right? I mean,
we partnered with the best here.
They're kind of the gold standard when it comes to gloves. It's so cool to be able to partner with them. So I'm curious, Sarah and Bridget, what are you guys' thoughts on these gloves?
These are awesome. So I actually wish I had these last weekend in Phoenix when we were changing tires during a pit stop. So, but yeah, I've finally got in the habit of wearing gloves, and oh my god, these are awesome. So no more busted knuckles anymore. It's great.
That's awesome. You know, the cool thing about these gloves is our racing partners like Rad Industries and Chip Ganassi Racing, the teams are outfitted with these gloves as well for changing tires and everything right there trackside. So
the hands of pros really are using these.
Yeah. It sounds like Quentin from Caterpillar Wrenching was able to join us. Quentin, can you hear me? No. Oh, okay. It sounded like maybe you had joined us. Oh, I did get a comment from Enrico. He says, "This is too much fire for my phone." Enrico, I'm so glad you're joining us and you're enjoying what we got to share with you tonight. Let's see. Autobahn Dan, what are your thoughts on these gloves?
They seem pretty well vented on the between the fingers, so definitely will be cool for the hotter areas. Definitely nice and cool feeling already.
Yeah, I
like
know
it.
you're always checking out different types of gloves. How would these stack up with some of the other ones that you've used?
I'd say they have pretty good protection on the palm right here. Definitely awesome for tires, and yeah, definitely good to protect your digits.
Yeah. And so, a lot of you guys, some of you use nitrile, some of you go barehanded. Dan, I know for you in particular, I've seen you use the other Gearwrench gloves we've had in the past. Is there anybody who's like, well, I'm not sure if I'd use these because I'm a nitrile person, or I like to go barehanded, but maybe I could find an application for these. So maybe somebody who's, it's not their favorite, but they're like, well, I could definitely see using this place.
Yeah, definitely for the tire work, and for the slim work, I would say go back to the latex or the nitrile. But yeah, definitely good for the tire work on these. I could definitely see that with these.
Actually, as we're heading into winter and it hits 20 degrees in Utah, these are going to be great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Keep my hands nice and
Sarah,
warm.
you bring up a good point. If you're in Utah, maybe you should check out the heated apparel. You can check it out at GW Heated Apparel for all of our jackets in line. That'd be good, something for you to check out too.
Absolutely. At the moment, we've got like 30-mile-an-hour winds happening outside. So it's like wind chill factor. Yeah. Bring it on.
Those heated jackets would be great for them.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what else we got in here. Can you move that car and let's see if I can get this stuff out? Oh my God.
Oh, is this where we're gonna need these orange things?
Yeah, you're gonna need those orange racks. So if you got those orange racks, you can get those out. All right. So here we have the 90T wrenches. So you guys can go ahead and crack open this cardboard box with each of these. And as you do, what we got here? Jared, what have you got in your box?
Oh, I got the metric set here.
Metric and what? Combo?
Metric and combo, exactly.
Yeah.
25.
I see your combo and I raise you a flex, man. I'm sorry.
You got, look at those.
A little bit better than yours. So we got the flex and we got the combos. I think we all got metric here. So we're gonna lay those out in that wrench rack. The cool thing about this wrench rack is that it's a low profile wrench rack, so that you can just store it right inside your toolbox. Like you got a narrow drawer like this behind me. It'll fit in there pretty easy. And in addition, you might have noticed that it has a couple of peg holes on the back. I don't know if you can get a shot of that. I'll try to do my best to hold it for you. There's the peg holes there. So if you want to mount this on your pegboard or hold it up or whatnot, you can do that. So let me tell you a little bit about this. So we get this cardboard box out of my way. So the cool thing about these wrenches is I'm sure many of you already have or know the 72 tooth GearWrench ratcheting wrench. It's kind of a bread and butter, right? It's what we're famous for. To up our game a little bit, I'm sure a lot of you already use or are familiar with the 90T ratchet line that we have. So what we did, we took the 90T ratchet line and we incorporated it into our wrenches. Okay, so I think I picked the dirtiest wrench of the bunch. Let's see if I can find one that's not quite so dirty. Great thing about this product is it's got a full polished chrome, right? So it's easy to clean up, especially when you're getting grease and solvents and stuff all over it. The thing I really like about it, it has the, make sure I get the end and the open end. And it's dual-sided. So if you look at a regular, this is a regular 72 tooth ratcheting wrench, and this is the 90 tooth. You can see the geometry is slightly different there in the 90 tooth, the one that's larger. And that's so that you can use that off-road corner loading on regardless of what direction you use. And what that really means is that when you're putting a fastener on here or here, that the pressure on the flats. And then in addition, we've got the color coding that you see here. electric has the orange and SAE has black. And the other piece that is really interesting is I actually have, this is a 18 millimeter combo. And here is the 18 millimeter combo. And so the first thing I notice is you've got the 18 millimeter and the 72 tooth. This 18 is huge and it's bright, really easy. And then behind it, you've got a lot more better access. And this is going to be, but we'll try to do our best. So this here is the 72 tooth, and here's the 90 tooth. The beam is just ever so slightly wider and more round than our current ratcheting wrench. So that's really important when you're applying torque or force because it's going to be a lot easier on your hand when you're pressing down.
Way greater comfort factor. That
Yeah, yeah. So Danger Dan, I'm kind of curious, what are your thoughts on these new 90 tooth wrenches? It's the first time anybody's being able to see them.
So my first initial thing, it just feels powerful. And that's not something I usually get from a ratchet wrench. It kind of feels like you kind of have to be gentle with it. And we get a lot of people here that like to use things really hard.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Durability is a huge thing for us, right? So being able to keep that, and this also being, serviceable if need be, people just stuff like that. However, I really like how that just feels. It just feels solid, and it's going to get you in a lot tighter spaces rather than the really floppy kind of stuff like that. But I think my favorite part is that you can actually see that that's painted. And you don't have to go, because when your hands are all greasy and stuff and you can't see anything, you're always looking for the etching. Like, what is that? Like, well, it's very clear that is a 21. So kind of.
That's awesome, man.
As well.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm glad to hear that you enjoy them. It sounds like you're a big fan of the flex head too. So I know that a lot of folks like that. We actually have some innovation coming out in these with reversible coming out here not too long. So those of you who are a big fan of reversible, hold tight. Those will be out soon. But this is the first time anybody's getting a chance to see them. Murray, tell me a little bit about what you think about these 90T wrenches. What's your favorite thing about them?
Well, first thing I noticed, they're still cold. I only got mine like 2 hours ago?
That's
I
awesome.
always say things arrive on horseback up here, but man, these are nice. Like they got some weight to them. They seem like they're still really, really solid, super smooth. And I'm noticing, there's not slop here. Like this, it's just you can tell it's quality, and the marking. It's like, man, that's nice.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we made the improvement to just the logo, and I think just that imprint really looks a lot better than our old one. But the color markings up, man, you can't beat that.
The visibility is key.
It's so much easier to see. Hey Dan, and I'm talking to Dan Burkett right now because we got 3 Dans. Dan Burkett, I know that one of the first tool sets that your dad gave you was a ratcheting wrench set from. So, what thoughts on?
When I first grabbed I think I was opening up the flex ones first. The first thought was like, are these actually thicker? Because like you could just feel it as soon as it meets your hand. You know that it's like a little bit beefier, like you guys were saying, and then the edge is a little smoother, and it just feels better in your hand, I guess I could say. And then like when you're gonna apply torque, like you guys already mentioned, it's gonna be more friendly to your hand. And then I grabbed some other wrenches out of my box over here, and I was kind of comparing, and yeah, it does seem like it's gonna be a lot smoother because there's a couple more clicks there. So this is gonna be good to work with. I think it's a really good improvement, and I do like the new logo. It's good.
Yeah. So these have, to your point, these have got a 4-degree ratcheting arc. We still have the 120 XP. That's something that kind of confuses folks is, well, you got the 120 XP. Is this better than 120 XP? I don't get it. No. The 120 XP is still our, premier ratcheting line in both ratchets and in wrenches. That's right. It's a 3-degree swing arc. It has longer beams. There's so many other features the 120 XP has that these don't. But what we're doing here is we're just really saying, hey, you guys have come to know and love the 72 tooth. That's great. You know, we appreciate that, but we want to give you more value for your money here and provide you with a better product.
That's right. We wanted to upgrade that workhorse.
Yeah. So that's what we're, hey, Faye Hadley, what are your thoughts on these new wrenches?
Well, I gotta say, first of all, I'm new to GearWrench, so I've never bought a set of your wrenches ever, but I'm really impressed right off the bat. Normally I buy like a set of wrenches and they end at 19. And then I've got to go and like separately buy like the 21, the 22, the 24. This ends at 25. And I got the 24, which is one of my most commonly used sizes. And I always find myself having to buy these to like complete a set. So like just buy a set and you're done. So I love that. Also, like, I mean, gyms are closing down soon, so like I can use these. For, like, these are solid. They're freaking solid.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm really impressed.
You
Like,
know, I'm actually so glad you brought that up
so
in regard to the sizes. I forgot to mention that.
What's that?
I'm so glad you brought up the sizes because I forgot to mention that you go from 8 millimeters all the way up to 25 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then SAE, we go from 1/4 inch all the way to 1 inch. So, and then of course, if you need larger sizes, we have ratcheting wrenches that go to 2 inches. Right. It's kind of nuts. Like if you've ever seen a 2-inch ratcheting wrench, I'm not sure how often that thing gets used. I'm sure it probably does to the right people, but
it's pretty impressive looking.
It's pretty impressive looking. Did we ever have Quentin be able to join us? No. Quentin, if you can hear us, we're sorry that we couldn't make it happen tonight, but we're grateful that you did try. I'd love to hear if anybody else, because this is the GearWrench Garage Party and because this is our flagship, I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts on these ratcheting wrenches. Charles, what are you thinking about these ratcheting wrenches?
So while everyone was talking, I was scouring the garage, looking for the very first set of ratcheting wrenches I ever bought a million years ago were GearWrenches, ratcheting wrenches. So this would have been circa, I don't know, 2001 to somewhere in that vintage. And the reason that I bought them, and it seems silly, but I bought these specifically for that, is because there is no offset on the straight ones. It's just straight, where the majority of other wrenches have the offset. Like, this is cool, right? The flex is cool because you can adjust it, but there are certain spots where if you have that angle here, you can't get the dang wrench in there and do anything. And working on German cars, it's a tight space.
Yeah.
You need all the help you can get, sometimes physically with tools, other times mentally. And yeah, so I'm happy about that. But I couldn't find them. Like, I have drawers of wrenches, like 3 drawers of wrenches, and I can't find them. And now I'm like super bummed about it and sad. So.
You know, Charles, it sounds like what you're suffering from is a GearWrench storage problem where you might need some GearWrench shop assist, you know, to help you with storing your wrenches and whatnot. I'm just saying, but maybe I'm mistaken.
How do you argue with an evaluation like that? I can't argue with it. Spot on. Yes. And so throughout the rest of this time, I'm just going to fidget with this 10 millimeter because we all know it's going to be gone before the end of this call. I already lost that socket set.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to hold on to this one really.
So
going down.
What are you thinking about the ratcheting wrenches, Eric?
Oh, it's my turn now.
Yeah, let's hear what you have to say.
Well, it's hard to follow Charles. I'll say that. But that being said,
I just want to say I love you, Eric.
I love you too, Charles. Now, it's funny you bring these up because I was just using some of the other GearWrench wrenches just a few minutes ago before this call started. And I noticed a few differences between these two. This is actually the SAE versus the metric one. But I personally like the moving, pivoting head part. I also like that it does feel a little more stout. I like others have mentioned, have always been sort of ginger with ratcheting wrenches. I'm afraid to break things loose. I don't mind going to town after it's broken loose, but I've always been afraid of breaking the mechanism. But this does feel pretty good as far as, you know, the ratcheting part. And it really just doesn't take much at all to get that click.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to, like, that's it right there. So you'll be able to get these into like very difficult areas, which is great for Charles because he chose working on German cars.
Yeah,
for some
well,
reason,
we all have to evaluate Charles's life decisions in some cases, but we still love
yeah,
him.
yeah, but he brings it on himself. But
I'm
he's
also
got a good
super
attitude about it.
difficult
So it's,
too, so it like plays all in together. Hi, I'm on this side now.
all right.
So, Eric, I'm actually really glad you brought that piece, the durability, because all of these wrenches meet or exceed ASME specs. We make sure that's true for all of our products, but specifically for these.
And they got that GearWrench lifetime warranty.
Yeah,
right?
so they all have a GearWrench lifetime warranty, which, a lot of people ask us, they're like, how would I warranty a GearWrench wrench? And you can do that by taking it back to where you purchased it from, whether it's the truck, the shop, whatever it is. You can also visit our website. We have a warranty replacement form where we can help you with that. And
Super easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's very easy. I'd love to hear also what Alan has to say about these 92 wrenches.
Yeah.
Alan Mendick.
Hey, what the first thing I noticed when I pulled these out of the box is that number. The fact that there's paint inside of that number is something I've been screaming at tool manufacturers about for years now. Like I've worked with various brands that just never really thought to do that. And it's so nice, makes it so much easier to just quickly identify what you're looking at. Like I have good vision, but still when you're hunting through a toolbox for the right wrench, that little bit of color really makes a difference.
Yeah.
But something else that nobody's mentioned that I really like that I'm seeing here is the flex head. While I don't see myself using flex a ton because it scares my knuckles, the pivot point on there is actually a bolt. And I like that. It's not a pressed in pin, meaning that if it loosens up over time, you could actually tighten that up and keep it from getting floppy on you. And that's actually something I always look for on flex designs because I've experienced, I used to be a tool distributor and I used to experience those floppy headed ratchets, and you don't get that with these. And when you can tighten it up, you can loosen it up if you want the floppiness, and you can tighten it up if you're not.
Right.
So I really like that.
We actually had a question from one of our audience members. See if I can get their name right. It was the Tom Hudson. Thank you for asking this question. He wants to know if the wrenches lock. Like you may have already heard, they don't lock. Right. We have locking flex head wrenches in our line today. We don't have them in 90T, but let's put two and two together. It's a matter of time, right? That's right. So, but on the horizon right now is reversible. Let's see. Kenny, I don't think I heard from you on.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, you guys all put out a lot of good points on these. So you pretty much covered it. So I'm going to just go from my standpoint. I'm going to use this to yell at my guys at the shop, right? So I usually have one of these in my hand, and this means business, right? So usually I'm going to be there with beer in one hand. I go like, hey, you guys can work, and if you have this in your hand, then
use the 25 millimeter for that.
Yeah, it doesn't carry the same weight when you're using one of these little ones,
Yeah, use
so go straight for the big ones. Yeah.
But they to wrench. I think it's a good time to try that out at Hawk Wrenches up there in Chambers.
Oh yeah, and I like the way the glove grip the beer glass.
Ooh,
it feels really good. Like, because to be able to use your fingers like for small things, right? When you're working on stuff, the gloves feel really good for that. For like detail stuff, sometimes I'll just bare hand everything, and you pay the price for that later. But these feel really good. Yeah. So I think I could handle a whole day wearing these, doing all my stuff, eating sandwiches and whatnot.
Hey, Brian Eslick, tell us what you think about these 92 wrenches.
Well, Alan, he stole my point. I was going to mention the bolt in the head, but the other point I like about the wrenches is the rounded edges. So I tend to crack the screw by smacking the crap out of the side of it with my hand. Right. And having a rounded edge is going to help, prevent injuring my hand. That's just one of the techniques I use for cracking.
Yeah.
So having the rounded edges is awesome. And in the head.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys can put these use in Toolbox today.
can get all this stuff in there. Want to tell you just a little bit about a couple of things we got on the horizon. We have our torque wrench line. You guys have seen the 120XP torque wrench. You've seen the 120XP digital torque wrench. We've heard nothing but great feedback. But that torque wrench line is expanding. We're actually going to have a production torque wrench be part of. You may have seen it already. I've been hiding it with my ugly face. We got some new tool storage on the horizon, which you see back here, showing up as well as the torque wrenches in Q1 of next year. Keep an eye out for that. We're hoping that this dumpster fire every year of 2020 turns into something better in 2021. I think we all are. And, you know, we've just been so grateful for all of the partners that tuned in tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your business and to be here with us this evening. You, everybody who joined in on Instagram Live, we're so grateful to hang out and see these new products. You can learn more about these new products on our website. We're actually going to have a detailed page go up tomorrow about the 90T wrenches. You can find them under the product features at the top of the menu, where you can learn more about the 90T wrenches and all these products. And yeah, I just so grateful you guys to be here. It's so great that even though SEMA didn't work out exactly like we wanted, we're so grateful you came here to the garage party tonight.
This hasn't been as exhausting as SEMA. Like, this is actually not. We're all actually hanging out in our garage. You know, unlike SEMA, where we all got to get a little bit more dressed up and walk miles. So this is way more fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Did you guys enjoy the evening so far? Or did you guys enjoy the evening?
Yeah,
definitely.
It was awesome.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
You know, CJ, what I'm most excited about now? Yeah, I'm really excited now to see these guys use these tools day in and day out, put them to the test, and tell us what they love about them.
You know, I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because if you're tuning in on Instagram Live, we'd love for you guys to take photos of your tools, tag us in them at GearWrench, or use the hashtag GearWrench. We'd love to see what you got. And we also have a contest going on right now. It's the Show Us Your Tools contest. So you take a photo of your GearWrench tools and you use the hashtags I mentioned and the at that we mentioned, and also use Show Us Your Tools. Somebody is going to win the prize that we have this month for November, and we'll have another one in December. So don't miss out on that. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We wish you all the best for the rest of this year, and we look forward to meeting in person in 2021.
My audio. All right, unmute my audio so you folks can hear me through the camera instead of through that stream there. So. Built from junk, nailed it there. I actually was sick the week of SEMA, but I didn't get the flu this time, thankfully. So that's a thing. But yeah. Yeah. You know what? That whole stream just went smoother and better than I honestly expected it would. So hey, that's good. I can't argue with that. I really wasn't sure what to expect with that. You know, we really didn't have any idea going in, or I really didn't have any idea what was in the box before we started this. So go back to the overhead here. Let me see if I can cut myself out of this a little more. Rad. Yeah, I really kind of expected, like, I mean, I know how hard live streams are. Like, I'm doing one right now, and I really expected it might have been a shit show, but it was not. So that was good. And I'm glad that CJ really, he's an excellent dude. He's a really nice guy, and he really seemed to handle that well. So I like that. Oh, Joe, hey, nice to see you there. Hello. Well, thank you for being here. You're always an excellent interactor. We enjoy having you on the streams, so thank you for being here. Oh. Is there any cash in the box? No, I really wish there was. I need new sponsorships. I'm currently between sponsors, so if you know of anybody, I'm glad you folks, I'm glad this seemed to be get some good action here on YouTube. I didn't clear this with CJ or anybody at Ring of Fire before I decided to stream it, but I knew that I had plenty of viewers on TikTok and YouTube who are not Instagram people, so I thought this would be a good way for folks to see things and still interact and enjoy. So thank you folks for being here. Do you have any questions about this stuff? I know I was trying to answer in the chat as we were going. I didn't want to interrupt the IG Live by talking to you folks the entire time, because I'm pretty sure it would have happened. Autel, yeah. You know what? One second. Yeah. Oh. Speaking of scan tools, I've got this thing that I've never done anything with. It's a Snap-on Triton D8. They sent me this over a year ago now, and nothing's ever come of it. So would anybody be interested in a video about this? Like, I feel really bad about not doing content about it, but it's not really my market. They didn't tell me what they were sending me before they sent it to me, and here it is. So I do use it all the time, primarily as a multimeter. I use it for my electronics work here in my office, for my 3D printers and such. The adjustable pliers. Let's talk about the pliers in general. Now, I'm a Knipex person primarily. Switch the overhead here. A Knipex, sorry. I'm terrible about saying that. Honestly, the feel of these things, I'm really liking what I'm feeling out of them. Overall, they have more heft than I would expect, like pliers from GearWrench to have. Yeah, there we go. Set the focus a little better. They have a little more heft to them than I would expect from these pliers. Like when I pulled them out, I didn't know what to expect. But, jeez. Oof. Okay. Yeah, the pliers have a good feel to them. They have, you know, a little swish, a little spring in the actual handle, but nothing excessive. Nothing I would be concerned about. I'm used to that. My Knipex pliers have a little give to them. But like Brian for How To Automotive said in the stream, they are like, even all the way closed, like I don't have the biggest hands by any means, but I got plenty of clearance inside of there that I'm not going to pinch my fingers. The jaws have these weird little cutouts that I can't tell if they're made to be design things or actually for like clearance to things you're working with. But I'm liking that. Overall, the pliers in general, I'm definitely going to give them a chance, give them a try. I like the feel of these needle nose, especially. How about twist? Good call. Honestly, let me try and fucking grab onto this. I mean, on the needle nose, I could feel that if I really wanted to, I could twist these needle nose around and turn them into a pretzel if I really, really tried. But I can't see myself doing something like that normally, actually using them as a tool on an average basis. The actual, like the 10-inch pipe wrench or whatever you want to call it, the adjustables, they don't have nearly as much flex as the needle nose, which is to be expected. The needle nose are needle nose. Yeah, I don't expect much, but honestly, this isn't a full review. Don't take it as such, but first impressions, these pliers feel better than I would have expected if they told me they were coming out with a pliers set. Best thing I could probably say. I don't know if that sounds bad toward GearWrench or not, but I like their products, but these are definitely feeling better than I would have expected. So, oh, the dikes. Let me see if I got something to cut here. This is a bad pump. Let's use this thing. My office is a disaster right now, so these are just little piddly 20 gauge wires, but let's say we get this braided insulation, this braided sleeving that's on this wire. Even my Knipex dikes have a hard time cutting this just because the weaves always end up in between there. So let's see what that does. Oh, yeah, right through that. I mean, granted, they're brand new and my Knipex are years old at this point, but that just went through 4 20 gauge wires and the nylon braiding in one easy little snip. Yeah, Joe. My office is above and beyond a disaster zone. My roommate calls it my mad scientist lab because I got 3D printers and my computer and everything everywhere. So, you know, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, no, that, boom. And that's like zero effort. Granted, this is small. This is pretty small wire, but still. Oh, pure curiosity since I got glass to clean up here anyway. I don't know how well this is going to work. Oh, man. Dude, it just snipped the corner off that razor blade like it was nothing. The funky looking pliers? Oh, that water pump on that I just cut up is dead, so no need to rewire it. These are Lineman Pliers, so just standard old Lineman Pliers. And you know, something I basically never use personally. You know, you got your pliers, your cutters, one crimp, and a little grab on for your conduit nuts or whatever back there. They feel as good as the rest of them, and you know, but they are what they are. Linemans. I'll put them in the drawer and I'll never use them again. Nothing wrong with Linemans. I just personally don't have a need for them. There are 2 sizes. Oh yeah, there are slip joints. Here's the regular slip joints. So. Kind of got to go wider on the slip joint to get him to slip than I'm used to. But honestly, that's probably a good thing. Wow, my voice broke there. Yeah, you got to go like this wide to get him to slip. But again, yeah, you won't accidentally slip doing that. So I can see that being a positive. So I don't know if this is like a set they're going to put together, but you got the needle nose. You've got the regular slip joint pliers, the 10-inch adjustables, which go up to, I don't have my tape or my dial calipers here. The large, which are 12-inch adjustables. Three fingers wide. The Linemans and the dikes. Diagonal cutters. I really don't use slip joints personally. Wrong one. The number one pair of pliers that I use all the darn time are the adjustables, my Knipex Cobra Pliers. Those are the things I use. Those are the ones I reach for all the frickin' time. I like the button adjustability. The jaws on Knipex are unparalleled. I love them. Now, I'm going to give these a try. I'm going to give them a chance. Like I said, first impression, they feel good. They've got that proper reverse cut tooth design that would be fairly hard for me to show you right now, but nice tight little tooth design. Let me see if let's go to the overhead and I'll try and zoom in here. Boop. This is all reversed. back to face cam. So, yeah, I'll give them a try. They're calling them the K9 Jaws. I guess that's their answer to the Cobra Pliers. They got the K9s. So, honestly, I'll tell you what, Tom. As far as the Knipex are concerned, I hate saying it that way. I used to sell tools, and I always said Knipex back then, and I know it's the way it's supposed to be said, Knipex. You can't go wrong with them. I have a toolbox. I've got a 60-some inch wide toolbox with a full width drawer, but it's entirely full of pliers. And now I got to find room for these ones too. But that drawer, there's like 5 pairs of pliers that I ever normally use, aside from wire strippers and crimpers. It's all Knipex brand. Dykes, needle nose, they're Cobra adjustable pliers. That's my go-tos. They absolutely are. So, and I feel unfair to other pliers as a result. Like, these so far feel great, and I'll give them a chance, but they got a high bar to clear. So, yep. They're made in Germany, Knipex, which is one of the things that weirds me out because I don't fully understand why it's said that way. It must be somebody's name or something, but yeah. Oh, yeah. My poor desk. I spent days finishing this wood top to be this color and this, to get it like this, and now I'm really careful about it because I don't want to ruin it because it's so new to me. But now I've got all this broken glass on my damn desk. Oh, hell. Now, I 3D printed a doorstop, so I don't know where it is right now. I 3D printed this quote-unquote tactical doorstop. Joe, as far as the move is concerned, as far as life is concerned, things have been good. I'm really liking being back in Philadelphia, being here. I'm enjoying it. I've been staying really, really busy, but not with anything really paying work-wise, unfortunately. But I need to get a lot of things done. I've got some stuff lined up, some things coming up. My number one priority is and has been, I need to locate a workshop. I need somewhere that I can do projects, get back to filming more videos for you folks. Because that's why I'm not in my garage right now. I don't currently have one. So yeah, this week it's high on the priority list to dive into that and start figuring out what it is I'm going to do for space and all of that. So yeah, you're down in Delaware, aren't you? Are you in Delaware? I forget. Yeah. So I've got some folks, especially Philly is going back into a lockdown. They announced this week, so a semi-lockdown. And as no, Joe, I was talking to Ozstars. Sorry, I know I kind of just switched gears middle there. But anyway, Philadelphia's going back into a lockdown, so this one person I've been talking to has a museum, and he wants to do a small fleet of cars up for the museum. And as the shutdown's coming in and museum's going to have to close down again, he wants to kind of work on that stuff while nothing else is really going on. So I need to locate a workshop so I can dive into those projects and get to work on that stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, no meet and greets for a while. Yeah, that's 2020. I've said this numerous times on numerous streams, but one of the big things I'd hoped for in 2020 was to expand my shop tour series. And my goal was I was going to go to more metal shaping shops across the country and do demonstrations and tutorials with other people, because everybody always has a different outlook on things and a different perspective and a different way of doing things. And then 2020 turned into 2020, so that didn't happen. Yeah, Joe, those projects, he's got some wild ideas. There's a Ford Anglia that he wants to kind of turn into an ant, because the museum is a bug museum. They do a lot of like educational outreach for schools and such. And he wants to have like hydraulics to make the fenders open up into legs and stuff. Dude's got a lot of ideas. We will see how realistic they are in time. But there's a lot of potential for some fun stuff there and definitely content to be made. Oh, awesome. You're a volunteer docent at the Simeon. I've never been there. I really would like to check that out. It's the other side of the city for me. I'm up north, but yeah, awesome. I've been by it. I've parked, because there's a lot of airport parking there to go to the Philadelphia airport. So I parked there a bunch of times. But yeah. I follow them on Instagram and like Facebook and such, and I see some really cool stuff. It seems really interesting. I definitely want to check that out. So awesome. Anybody have any other questions about the tools that were in this kit? The pliers kind of stole the show for a lot of folks here, and they're probably the most widely appealing thing, I guess. The wrenches do feel beefy. I like GearWrench wrenches. I mean, it's GearWrench. It's what they're known for, you know? So it's just kind of fallen by the wayside over the years. But I'm liking the feel of those. They really do. They don't flop around. I do like that on the flex. Like I said, I don't see myself using the flex much. All right, have a good one. And the straights feel really good. They got a good length to them. Something nobody really mentioned in the stream. Let me switch to the overhead. Something nobody really mentioned in the stream is it's really hard to see. They have that kind of undercut jaw design that's meant to lock on to fasteners and really apply more torque with the open end. And I love that. I really like that design. It's very similar to the Matco style versus the I guess, yeah, it's kind of got that OptiTorque snap-on design to it. But yeah, I can see myself using the flex once in a while, but they'll definitely not be a common one. I'll reach for these fixed ones far, far more often. So looking forward to putting those to work. I think all of my standards are reversible. I don't like reversibles. I prefer this flat, straight design personally, but I do have reversibles in the standard right now. And we also had the expansion. They showed the expansion of the bolt biter sockets. I haven't gotten around to doing a review of the original design of these yet. Now I've got these, so I could do a full-on review from like the small to the big ones. So this is their design of an extractor, a bolt and nut extractor design. The idea here being that they are not spiral. Like a lot of these have like a spiral design inside of the actual gripping end. These have straight flutes. And the idea is you can use them to install and remove fasteners, or you could use them on left-handed fasteners as well. So like I said when they first told me, oh, you can use them to reinstall fasteners, my point was, why would I be reinstalling a fastener I needed to use this on? In a pinch, I guess you could do that, but I don't work in a pinch. You know, I'm not in repair. You know, if something's stripped on a vehicle that I'm working on, it doesn't leave the shop stripped. But that is what it is. Joe, I'm not fully understanding what you're talking about as far as the curved opening thing. The 8mm wrench, are we asking about here? And the 8mm wrench feels like an 8mm wrench. Like it's still a good strong beam, but it's definitely sized like an 8. Actually, honestly, the size of this 8mm feels more like my 10mm regular Matco wrench that I use all the time. It's got more of that size to it, so it's actually a really good size. I like that. It's not small by any means. So Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm sorry, Joe. I understand what you mean now. You mean this curve back here versus the hex. Personally, I don't care about that at all. I use my number one go-to wrenches are Matco wrenches, and they ever designed the same way. They don't have the hex shape in there because they're designed to grip on the side flats. They're not meant to grip back here. They're meant to grip on one on each side. And I really like that. I find that it works really well. Oh, overhead died again. All right, I'm not replacing the battery in the overhead a second time on the stream. That camera, I wish I had it plugged into AC power. This camera is plugged into the wall. So, yeah, I don't find that matters for me. So, no, I'm perfectly good with that. My Matco wrenches that I use primarily have this same rounded design. It works out just fine. I can tell you this, the gears in this 90 tooth ratchet feel, that's the big thing. I don't know if you folks picked up on that, is this new wrench design has the 90 tooth ratcheting mechanism for a tighter ratcheting design versus the older ones, which were 72 tooth, I believe. So you're going to get a tighter ratcheting circle. It's 4-degree swing arc on these, and the old ones were like 6 degrees, I think. No. The old ones were 5 degrees or something like that. So you're going to get a tighter swing arc. But on the smaller ones, that means that they kind of feel more delicate. That doesn't mean that they are more delicate, but they feel more delicate because they have a really small arc on them. So only time will tell. I can't give a full review of these. I don't want to come off like a shill for these folks. I enjoy GearWrench. I like their products. I like the folks over there. They're excellent. But I need to test this stuff before I give you folks my real full opinion. I mean, I've been using the 90 tooth ratchets from GearWrench for a little while now as my only ratchets. When I get new tools, I try to roll them into my workflow and only use them for a little while, so I give them a fair shake and not just go back to my old favorites. And the 90 tooth ratchets from GearWrench, I've been really, really liking so far. I've really been enjoying. I've got a set of them over here. Let me grab them. These are the low profile, or the compact head ones. So compact head ratchets. It's a 2-piece set of them. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway. Probably in the next few days I might announce it. I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and it's actually not just going to be GearWrench involved. There's going to be a couple companies because I hit a couple of milestones on YouTube and TikTok and other places. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away one of these sets, the compact 2-piece ratchet set. I'm going to be giving away that, part of the grand prize. I've really been liking these. They have a really good feel to them. So if that translates into the 90 tooth ratcheting wrenches, I'm going to be impressed. But only time will tell that. So, all right. Thank you for joining. Thanks for coming by. Also, thank you for the heads up on the tilted thing with the camera on IG. That was a mess. I almost didn't get into the stream. Like, they were already live and I wasn't into the stream yet. So that was a serious heart attack moment. I'm like, come on, I really got to get in here. But cool. How you liking those ratchets, Tom? Are you enjoying them? I mean, I personally like them. I like the design. I'm enjoying them overall. So I think I've got a couple of the bigger ones around here somewhere, but I'd have to dig. Like I said, my office is a disaster right now. So I don't know. It was I swear they had one of these sets before, this 10mm set, where you could get all these. In fact, I'm pretty sure I included this as a joke in like I often do a holiday buyer's guide, like what to buy your mechanic for Christmas. I did that like 2 years ago, and I included this 10mm set from them, but it looks like they added a few more items to it this year. So definitely the magnetics I'm liking the idea of. I might have to get a full set of those magnetics. I have Sunex magnetics and I really like them, but I have them in standard. I don't have them in metric because I use standard more. It's just my more go-to standard thing. Standard. Oh, how long have we been going here? Hour and a half, just coming up on. So, you couldn't have made this up. Like, this is so funny to me that when he said go ahead and pull the pint glass out of the box, I'm like, what pint glass? That package that's all wrapped up is flat. No way, that's a pint glass. Sure enough. If you folks follow Kruger Construction on Instagram, he posted ahead of the show. His package, his toolbox, only arrived today, and it was hammered. His box survived just fine, but the cardboard box it came in was hammered. Mine showed up in pretty bad shape too, but yeah. Yeah, this is like literally, you can see this is supposed to be a pint glass. And that was broken shards of glass on my desk. I don't know why I insisted on pulling out the little bit of broken glass to show folks. That was stupid. Now I got to clean my desk off. Hopefully one of my cats doesn't jump up here before I get a chance to clean it. Yeah, my package, my toolbox got delivered last week, like Thursday last week. Granted, the folks who are putting on the stream, they're in South Carolina. I'm in Pennsylvania, so it's not that far for me. Kruger Construction, he's up in Canada somewhere, so understandable. It would take a little longer to get to him. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's anything we didn't really cover. I think we've pretty well gotten it all out of the way. My office is even more of a disaster because I got all the boxes and stuff spread around me now. The gloves. I haven't talked about the gloves, my first impression. I typed it in the chat a little bit when we were talking about it, but I might as well tell you folks. So overall, they have a good padded design. So like Brian was talking about smacking wrenches, like there's some good padding there for that. I do like that. And the backside has excellent rubber on there, but it's cut so it doesn't impede your movement. I like that. But then the fingers, they feel like they might be double layer, but they're thin double layers. And that's where I'd be concerned. Because most of the time, about the only times I use gloves really for my work is maybe handling big sheets or big dirty tubes for, for chassis work and such. Yeah, perfect for cleaning glass. Yeah. And they'll get torn up doing that stuff, I feel like. But they probably designed this for mechanics. They didn't design it for metal workers like me. So I'm not going to complain about that too much. And I did try them. I'm watching a chat here on my iPad and they work really nicely. I typed a whole message out on here earlier on the screen to you folks. And so, yeah, I do like that. I don't have any other gloves, I think, that have that kind of able to touch the screen thing. So, and they are Mechanics Wear official brand, just teamed up with GearWrench, which makes sense. If you're going to make gloves, don't reinvent the wheel and find some random company to make them. Just go to the folks who are known for gloves. I'd say the biggest companies are Mechanics and Ringer. So, good call on that. Kopi, I don't know anybody as far as UK suppliers for GearWrench for you. I'll reach out to CJ and see if he could point me to some folks for you, like a good UK reseller. I'll hit them up and try and find that so I can maybe include links for you in future videos. Yeah, Joe, that's a point that I didn't really want to bring up in the stream. Is like, oh yay, I can wear these and I can touch the screen on my phone. Do I really want to touch the screen on my $1,200 iPhone with gloves that I'm using for greasy, dirty work? Not so much. I don't see myself doing that. I'm going to pull the gloves off and use my phone barehanded, I'm pretty sure. Raimai, hello from TikTok. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you've been here the whole time or part of the time, but thanks for coming by. Let's check something here. YouTube's yelling at me. I don't care. Unimportant. YouTube is yelling at me that that I'm streaming higher quality than they want. Woo. I don't care. So, yeah. Any other questions, folks? Any other interesting topics to talk about at the moment? I didn't really set out to stream like this. I just kind of I'm gonna do a TikTok video yet tonight, probably about what was in the box. But you can always rewatch the stream if you want to. It will be live on here after I'm done. Yeah. I also hope that GearWrench has no problem with the fact that I streamed this live. I didn't ask anybody because I didn't think about doing it. I didn't plan to. Like I didn't plan to when I go into today. But then earlier today, somebody on TikTok asked like, "Oh, where do I watch the stream?" And another TikTok follower was like, "Oh, you watch it on his YouTube channel." I was like, "Well, no, you don't watch it on my YouTube channel." But then I was like, "Well, why not? Why can't I?" And then so I just installed a plugin so I could stream it, and yeah. Oh, hello from Belgium. Hello from America, the land of lockdown. Oh, Tom, cool. All right, Joe, thank you for coming around. Thank you for being part of this. As always, I really appreciate it. All right, Tom, cool. That good to connect that name together. Thank you for looking out there and helping, you know, like directing people and also technically giving me the idea to stream this way. So thank you. Let's get the questions here. How's the 3D printing going? 3D printing is going pretty darn well. I printed this a couple of days ago. I've had a few failures, like pretty bad print failures this week, but that happens. I was able to I was able to work them out and figure it out. So I'm going to be doing at least 1 or 2 videos on the main HotRodHippie YouTube channel here about 3D printing, because I'm going to start printing. 1 second. I got this. This is the gauge cluster for the 65 GMC project, the C10. This is the original gauge cluster. And we want to install 2 5-inch gauges into here, and then indicator lights for check engine light, turn signals, and all that. And so I'm going to design and 3D print a whole new gauge cluster, basically, for that truck. And that's mainly why I got into 3D printing, was to do things like that. So, yeah. This is going to be the first project, and I'm going to do a dedicated video about it here on YouTube. Probably not going to do like a step-by-step how to design it kind of thing, but an overview. And if there's interest, I'll do more of a deep dive in the future. But I'm going to do like a full project, beginning to end, design, making it, putting it together, finishing it, and whole 9 yards. So that's coming really soon. Obviously, I haven't done it yet, but coming very soon. I've been getting my printers all set up and ready so that I can just print it. Because once I start filming it, I don't want to have to stop to fix a printer mid-process. Yeah, that's part of why I got the 3D printer, was like being able to mock things up. Like, you know, in my work, I could see myself designing and having things CNC machined out of billet aluminum or something. But I really like the idea that I can print them first, make sure that I didn't screw up my... it happens. You know, I design something, I print it, and I realize, oh, that's like 10 millimeters smaller than I wanted it, or it's a tenth the scale or something stupid. So being able to like mock up something before I spend a bunch of money to get it machined, I'm really looking forward to that. P. Ward, you asked, kind of off topic, replacing body panels, do you use weld-through primer? I don't. I never use weld-through primer. The thing about it is I haven't found a weld-through primer of any kind that I like. I always find that because I TIG weld mostly, and even with MIG welding, spot welds and such, I find that it just causes just enough interference with the weld, just enough spitting and spatter and dirt and smoke that it's not worth my time to do. You know, I just haven't seen, I don't like it. I just don't like it. What I do is a standard self-etching primer, and say I'm replacing a quarter panel and I got a seam weld down the entire side of the quarter panel. I tape off like with 3/4 inch masking tape. I'll tape right up to that edge, and I will primer right up to that edge. So I'll get the primer as close as I can to my weld without it contaminating. And if I'm doing spot welds, like I'm doing a rocker panel and I'm going to replace that rocker panel, I will etch prime inside of that rocker panel and probably paint it too, not just etch prime it. That way it's got a rust preventative inside of there. Because primer helps, but it's not a full-on rust preventative. Even weld-through primers, etch primers, a top coat really helps. So I will, on the flange where it's actually going to get spot welded, I will mark exactly where my spot welds are. I'll mock it up, mark where the spot welds are going to be, and then I'll tape that spot and leave that bare metal. It's not the best thing for long-term preventing rust, but it's just the best way I can get a good weld and protect the rest of the panel. Hey, Kopi, that's an excellent idea. Making some blanking plates for like an engine. Thank you. I'm definitely going to use that idea. Thank you. Build 2 of those instrument clusters. Almost certainly, once I'm done with that instrument cluster, I'm almost certainly going to put the files for it online for free. You know, the 3D printing world is very open source, and it's a lot about sharing information, and so is my YouTube channel. You know, I'm trying to share information with you folks. So I'm most likely going to put the file for what I make online so you folks could download it. If you had a printer, you could print it yourself, or there are 3D printing services out there where you can send a file to them and they'll print the product for you. They charge a decent price for it, but I mean, like, for the GMCs, there are very few options. The few options that are out there are pretty expensive, so it'll be quite a bit cheaper than that. So, yeah. So you very well may be able to get your own one of those. I'm not going to print one for you, I can tell you that. But unless you want to pay for it, but that's a whole different topic. But yeah, I'll probably put the files out there so folks could make them if they want to. Have you tried stainless steel paint steel? It's a top coat they say you can weld to. No, I haven't tried that. I think I've looked into stainless steel coatings before. It's a brand, right? Stainless steel coating or something like that. I think I've looked into them before, and they seem to make some really bold claims, and it really concerned me. Not to say they don't live up to it. Maybe they do. But, you know, steal it. Okay, yeah. Haven't tried it, so I can't speak to that. I really should do a roundup of weld, because the question of weld through primer comes up all the time, and I should really do a video about why I don't use them, and maybe I can do like a shootout of various ones, and maybe one of those products will impress me and I'll start using it. I don't know, but that's a good idea for a video topic. Maybe I'll write that down right now, actually. My idea book. Oh, can't show you folks. One of my cats and my dog are underneath the table at the desk over here. So yeah, they're cute, and they are over this. I think they know when I'm filming, and they just stay out of the way. So All right. Any other questions? I've been on here longer than I intended to. So, any last questions you folks have? Interesting things? Comments? Whatever? Super chats are always welcome. Yeah. I got to figure out making more money off of YouTube. I can tell you that much. That's not a complaint. Just, well, it is. You know, this content creator game is not easy. So. Oh. Let's see here. Coming up in an hour 45, so I think we'll call it here any moment now. So. Kruger Construction is live. Why is he live? He's probably doing the same thing that I'm doing, but he's doing it on IG. Oh, Tom, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was half joking about that, but I appreciate it all the same. P. Ward, rare muscle cars, factory rebuild, or customize? I am very much a man of customize. I had an old coworker who used to say something whenever people, because we always did custom stuff more than restoration. I get bored by restoration, and his saying was, it makes the rest of them worth more. You know, if you take one of 1,000 and you hack it up and you customize it and you make it into something special, different, people are going to give you crap for that. But at the end of the day, that other 999 is now worth more because there's one less of them. I mean, I don't know. If you have, personally, if I had a car that was rare, I'd sell it. You know, if I had if I had a Mustang and it was a rare Mustang, I'd sell said rare Mustang and I'd buy a not rare one and I'd customize that one. But that's just monetarily, it makes sense to me, you know. But if it's a rare car that only a few of them exist, no matter, and it's the only way to get that car, do what you want with it. I say customize it. Oh, I didn't know Streamlabs had its own monetization system. So, cool. Thank you for that information. I use OBS, but I use the non-Streamlabs version, regular OBS. So, I need to start doing Twitch streams more. I did one recently where I just sat and I was doing Fusion 360, designing parts for 3D printing. And I just Twitch streamed while I was doing that. I figured, why not? You know, I could talk to people and do a stream. I'll probably do more of that in the near future. My Twitch stream is the same as my TikTok name, Mandic Really. MANDIC Really. So, yeah. I will be doing more of that. So thank you for that information. All the same. Ha. I've been talking too long. Starting to lose my voice. Coming up on an hour 45. All right, folks, I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you, Tom, for that super chat. That is extremely appreciated. Everybody else, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate all the comments, questions. I'm glad I was able to do this and show folks who didn't want to watch on Instagram or whatever, were able to watch however they wanted. So seems like we had a decent turnout for this. So thank you so much to everybody who stopped by, hung out, chatted, enjoyed the show. I appreciate you for coming by, and thank you. Always like, comment, subscribe, all those things that every YouTuber tells you to do. I appreciate it if you would do so. The buttons are right there. You could do that. So, yeah. All right. I think with that, I'm going to call the end of the stream. Thank you so much, folks. And I will see you in the next video, in the next stream, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, one last thing I should mention. Let me pull it up. I might as well. I haven't made a video about it yet. I really need to do that. Is HotRodHippie.com. I have a new website, HotRodHippie.com. It's a full official website now for my stuff. You know, I'm going to try and post blog posts over there. And I'm hoping that with blog posts, I haven't done it yet, but I'm hoping that I'll have time to maybe go a little more in depth on topics. Or like if I use charts in my videos, or, you know, I talk about a diagram, a wiring diagram or something, I'll post it on the blog so you folks can just look at it for yourselves. Or if you want to use it as a reference while you're working on a project or something, you could pull that up and have it right at hand. So I'm going to be doing that with the website. And there's also a store over there. There's not much in the store right now, but I will be getting my own merchandise, my own t-shirts and such that'll go in there once I get that stuff going a little more. But for now, it's the website. So there's a contact form, there's all that stuff. You can get to me, get with me, reach out, whatever, over there, HotRodHippie.com. So it's a new full-fledged website. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for coming around and hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you, as I said already. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up, say goodbye. Hope everybody has a lovely night. Thank you for being here.